Welcome, guys. This is our first podcast, and yeah, we're really excited to present it to you because we've been just talking about this for literally about a year. We've been in the process of, curating this podcast, together this podcast for you guys. You're probably wondering what I'm talking about, and EU's gonna let you in on a little.
Wow, me, I can't. I think you should do the intro, bro. You're the incubator where all the vision came from. So why don't you start off? I'll tell everyone the name first. So
Okay.
the name is Afro Rooted. It's the football podcast, the African football podcast. Kind of tell us about where the vision came from, how it all started.
Yeah. So basically, Afro Rooted came about naturally, I would say, just because of my background. I'm African, born and raised in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. And yeah, just had this idea of a podcast. And one day I just mentioned it to EU. We play soccer together in Addis. We just had both came back from university, and we are just starting our lives, getting started pretty much. In the what they call the real world. But yeah, and this just naturally came about, and it's an idea that I think will benefit most of us in the African community. And yeah, we just wanted to promote. The whole idea is basically to promote, African talent and uh, you know, African football in general. Where it's been, where it's going, and if you're really interested about the development of African football, this is the podcast for you.
Yeah, exactly. And I think at one point, like I started consuming more and more football content, right? So I started listening to more podcasts, watching more YouTube videos, and none of that like highlight compilation videos with like the dubstep and everything. Just
Yeah,
more like football analysis. And try to get more into the actual thinking behind the decisions that are made in football. And
yeah,
they're like the page like platforms like Tifo Football, The Athletic. I really like the reporting The Athletic does, and I think it might have started, with the transfer seasons, supporting like
yeah.
club like Arsenal. There's a lot of transfer rumors that comes out and everything. So I think that might have been like the birth of it all.
Yeah.
We've been linked to everyone in the world, right? So I think that might have been the birth, but.
Yeah.
Like the second I heard the idea for this channel, I thought like, yo, this is sick. I have to be a part of it. So yeah, so a lot of content to come, guys. I think why don't you tell us actually kind of, we have a couple ideas for the different sections that we're going to be talking about. So why don't we give them
Yeah.
a bit of
So
a
basically,
teaser, no,
yeah,
don't give it all away, but
we
maybe
won't
just
give it all away. Don't
yeah.
worry, man.
Yeah,
I'll just give out the general idea of what we're trying to do here. I
yeah,
mean, we're just new as like we're as individuals. We're both new to this like whole podcast thing, so we both have no idea really to how to like sell ourselves as a media personality, if you want to call it. But
yeah.
we're just two passionate people, I would say, that you know want to share what we know about African football, and then we're also willing to do the research behind it and basically give it to you in a digestible manner, I would say.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
yeah, one thing we decided is as this show grows on, we're like we want you guys to grow with us, so we're gonna come up with different segments to do. Like for example, we'll have a segment where that will just focus on African football legends like Samuel Eto'o, Didier Drogba, all these names. We're just gonna go behind their story and then basically tell you how they got there. And some of these stories you guys already may know, and then some of the stories will be a surprise to you guys, hopefully. So yeah, stay tuned in and to find out more. So
Yeah, a lot to come, a lot to come. I think it's going to be dope. Um, I think what might be interesting is also to tell people a bit about, our background. What
yeah,
gives us, yeah, what gives us the, like what puts us in the position that we are to speak about football, and give people context about like, our background. So, I'll start it off, right? So,
okay, yeah,
um, grew up in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Um, went to one of the international schools here. It's called Sanford. It's an English school. Um, and I had a good time, a bit of an athlete, and I was actually a bit frustrated when I was around like 15, 16 at the level of coaching actually, and like the dedication to detail or the attention to detail with the coaching was a bit low for what I was looking for, right? So I remember even having a conversation like 3-4 months before the season started with the coach, and like telling him, yo, we need to get started on like our fitness. I was on the basketball team as well, so I was pretty fit, but I was a bit worried about the rest of the team who weren't
Like
doing other
the athlete
sports.
back then.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So I remember having a conversation with him. Like I was like, yo, let's get some tactics done and everything. And he was like, yeah, we'll think about it. We'll think about it. And then he never got back to me. And that was one of the worst seasons that we had, actually. We had a pretty good team. Always spanked the rest of the division, but towards the end, when everyone else got a bit more serious with the coaching and the training, I think we let off a bit, and that showed in the results. So anyways, so yeah, love to always love
I think I
football.
remember playing you guys on one of my, like, was it my junior year or senior year?
Yeah, against
In
ICS.
high
Yeah,
school as well. Yeah, I feel like we had
yeah.
a couple of
I
games.
yeah. Actually, a funny story actually on that coach. He's a close family friend, right? And I remember having a conversation with him. He had coached both the junior varsity and varsity for a few years,
Yeah.
and I remember playing him while we were junior varsity team. I think I was 15.
Okay.
So the first year we played him, smacked the team, right? And then towards the summer, I asked him, "Yo, how are you feeling about this?" Like towards the end of the summer, I asked him, how are you feeling about the next coming season?" And he was like, "Yeah, I don't think we can take you guys. Our varsity team is dope, but I don't think we can take you at this level yet." So that was dope. That was really dope to hear, because I respected his like coaching ability a lot at that point, especially compared to our our coaches.
Yeah.
And then yeah, as I said, as we got older, it became tougher to compete. It was tough. But yeah, I was interested in playing football in college. Talked to like a couple of Division 1 schools, and they were kind of like, yo, it might be tough for you to like walk onto a Division 1 team. I was like, all right, cool. Ended up just picking a school based on the education. Went to Emerson College, and then yeah, I walked onto the team. Tried out in the fall, and then joined in the spring. Had a bit of a rough, like a lot of ups and downs with the team, but I think it was a great experience nonetheless. Like really learned a lot. I was actually like the first time I was exposed to like higher level of coaching, even though it was a Division 3 team. I think they took it pretty seriously. So that was nice to experience.
I think that
Sure.
generally here in the States, I feel like they take it seriously no matter what level it is. I feel like
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
you'll always get like that support, like that follow up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You'll
Yeah,
have like the environment. I would say is more like suited towards like helping you.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Whatever level you are, I feel like
yeah.
they'll take it seriously. You know?
Yeah, man. There was so much attention to detail, bro. Like I was not expecting that at all. Like, take it. We're being advised about the stuff that we are eating. We're advised about how we should go to the gym, what type of stuff we should be doing at the gym, and that was something that we never did in Ethiopia. So
I know, man.
that was yeah, bro. It's crazy. That was
Life
dope
is
to
changing.
experience for sure. And I
Yeah,
think what would be dope in the future is like to see more people getting access to that kind of information, those
yeah,
facilities that we got in college. Because I think, especially a country like Ethiopia, where everyone is like so passionate about football, I think a lot
yeah,
could happen with that kind of access.
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, as you're saying that too, like I was just thinking, and that might be like a great model also to kind of implement within Africa if you think about it. You know,
Yeah.
since like not everybody can have access to like go to Europe or America, so why not bring that like structure to to us? You know what I mean? We could educate our people while we also give them the opportunity to play, and then give it
You
like
mean
halfway through.
like the path to professional football, like do it through
Yeah,
like
like having like doing it
educational
through also
system?
university, like yeah,
Yeah,
giving it like making it a university league other than like the club leagues as well. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's
So
it.
like that way, it's kind
Yeah,
of like kind of that's the whole idea that I liked about the U.S. was the fact that it combined both. It's like
yeah.
it
You're a
never
student
it
athlete.
was never like you play you or you go to school. It's kind of
Yeah,
like being a student athlete is kind of like gives you like the best of both worlds in a way. I
yeah,
mean, there's obviously advantages and disadvantages from it.
yeah.
Like I
To the
mean,
system.
like
Yeah,
if you just go to school versus you're just playing soccer all day, I feel like there's a different level of energy and
yeah,
energy and like time that basically you're sacrificing your whole life towards the game
yeah,
versus you're doing a little bit of both. You know,
yeah.
and it might be an
Yeah.
interesting
Like
option
it would
to
really
think
be,
of.
yeah, it'd be dope to see some research if it had implications on the quality of players that come out of there. I
Yeah.
doubt that it would have
And,
because especially
maybe this could be an episode one day. Then.
yeah, maybe
So
future
yeah,
episode, guys, stay tuned.
yeah,
Yeah,
stay tuned, man. See, these are the type of things basically, yeah, we're gonna be
yeah,
talking about in general. So.
yeah, exactly, yeah. Why don't you tell us about your upbringing, your background?
Well, my background is actually very similar to yours.
Yeah,
One of the reasons we started this thing is because of that as well. And
yeah,
I was born and raised in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia as well, and I actually went to two international schools, like similar to the ones you did. I
yeah,
went to the French Lycée, and I did my last 2 years in the international community school in Ethiopia. So I feel like that those schools basically gave me, more exposure. I would say uh, than most people within Ethiopia. I would say like it gives you like a different like. I was kind of like living in two different worlds, is what I would say. Because when I go back home and then I'm playing soccer with my friends, we playing on the streets and hanging out in the neighborhood. It's a very different world from that to like going to school like Monday to Friday. It's like it's a different world. You know what I mean?
absolutely, yeah,
And I feel like that kind of had that's been my life from then and even to now. I feel like it's kind of the way I'm living my life. Like I come into the States, going to Ethiopia. It's kind of like living in two different worlds at the same time. So yeah, that's my background pretty much. And my soccer basically started when I was in lycée, and I had very similar like frustrations to what you had. I mean, we all love playing soccer, football. Even the coaches were helpful and stuff. Like they liked it. They were encouraging, but there wasn't like a set program. You know what I mean? The school didn't take it that seriously. For us, it was just about academics was the number one priority, and then that was the only way you can make it out, pretty much.
yeah,
And how that's kind of tough when you have a passion to to be a soccer player or whatever. You're into the sport, so that kind of has a sort of builds up a frustration in a way.
yeah,
Um, but then like when I switched high schools, like my second high school had a better program than my first one.
yeah,
So I was fortunate enough to be on a team that actually cared about games. We actually went to tournaments and stuff. But even then, there like I didn't get along with my coach as much
yeah,
as I wanted to, or I was very new to it. I didn't know how to take it.
yeah,
And
exactly.
yeah, like I was on the team for a while and then I wasn't, and then like I never, it was just a lot of stuff to take, especially when you're transitioning and you're at that age where you don't want to hear what people are telling you and stuff.
Yeah,
You might be a little stubborn, you might have a little attitude, but you know how that goes.
yeah, of
That's how
course,
it
yeah,
was in my high school, actually.
yeah,
And yeah, transitioning to college, I basically walked on the team as well. I chose a school basically not just for soccer, but at that point, I had my mind set to also, like, I decided at that point in my life that I wanted to remain with soccer no matter what, like I wanted my life to be about that. So if it's not on the field, my head was like, okay, I want to be a coach, scout, something, you know, like I just wanted to do something
Yeah.
related to this, you know. Like,
Yeah.
so I looked up some stuff, and then I found out about sports management. Uh, and then sports management that was actually a thing. Like I never knew that until I did the
Yeah.
research. And then I talked to a college counselor, and then he basically recommended me this college that I went to in California. It was it's called Menlo College, and it was a business school, and I also had a sports management program with a soccer team. So that was kind of like, oh, okay, but I wanted to live in California. Like I wanted to do all that, so that like checked all my list. Like I basically applied to two colleges, and then that was one of the ones that took me, and then I just went there.
That's so dope. Yeah. I feel like that's the one, like I envy that about you a lot, is that you said this is the journey that I want to take, this is a path that I want to take, and that's it. Like that's good. And like you said, I want to be like, involved in football, and that's what you did. So props to you for
Yeah,
that,
that's what
bro.
we, you know, it's still in the journey, you know. We're still really early, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure.
It's still definitely tough, man. We're still in the humble times. You know?
Yeah, not for long, bro. Not for long. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, that's pretty much me in a nutshell, man. And then fast forward now, just I'm in between Addis and the US, I would say, but mostly I'm trying to be based more in Addis in the future. You know, I mean, there's a lot of different things going on now, but yeah, I would just anywhere in Africa. Well, that's where we're Afro rooted. You know, that's
Yeah, you know.
yeah, man, it's all related, man. You know,
Absolutely.
relating it back to the podcast.
Nah, that's dope, bro. How's your experience playing in college? Like, did you get along with your teammates, your coaches?
Oh, in college, I would say like I really like loved my experience in college, in the Menlo College. I mean, football wise, like footballing wise, like I wouldn't say like I reached like my potential. You know what I mean? What I mean, like that's kind of hard to say to yourself and to realize, you know.
Yeah,
But there was definitely a lot that I could have done better, like
yeah,
me as a person, you know.
yeah,
But I overall like I do not regret my time at Menlo. Like think it taught me a lot, you know, about being with teammates. Like everybody got along. It was a good vibe, you know. I never got I got along with the coaches. Like there was two coaches that coached me, and especially the first one, like you know, he let me in. Like before, funny story is like I wasn't even on the team the first year. Like I started off as a manager, team manager. So
Oh,
it's like I
interesting.
went out because I had what you call it. I did like a tryout thing, but it was like a
Yeah,
2 day thing, so he didn't get a chance to see me properly. So
yeah,
he said basically he'll try to take me in the spring season.
yeah,
So the first fall season I went in, it was I was basically a team manager, so I just wanted to be hanging around the team, you know, just seeing how it was. It was a lot different. So just being around the team for me, like I was just looking and absorbing like the different things that were going on around me, you know, because I hadn't seen that before. Like I hadn't seen
yeah,
a
yeah,
person
for
like
sure.
you have your trainers, you got nutritionists telling you how to eat properly,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you know, just even the training and how it was took, like it was serious, you know, everybody was there on time, like nobody was
yeah,
messing around, and I was like, it was so organized, and like that's something like that I was hungry for, you know, like that's
yeah,
something that
yeah,
especially if I had gotten that, like that's something I wish I had got like much earlier on.
yeah.
Because
Exactly. That's
most
what
of
I
the
was
guys
about
that
to
came
say.
on
Yeah,
to the team were scouted there, you know, like they've
yeah.
been getting followed by the coaches and stuff. So that's something like I came saw. I was like, oh, I wish I had that, but you know,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
that's something that I
compared
was
to
about to say. Like, yo,
yeah,
um, like we had good upbringings compared to the rest of the country, right? But like we
yeah,
didn't get any of that. And I think that should be looked at. Like I think it isn't
yeah,
something like I don't think it's like rocket science. Like I think
mhm.
offering what they had offered us in college, I don't think it would be that expensive or that complicated. So
It's not. I
um
feel like it also takes like somebody that cares. You know, I feel like what
exactly,
comes
yeah.
down to it is just people
Yeah,
that
yeah.
care.
Yeah, but I think everyone cares. But like, I feel like, well, at least my coach, I think you said your coach and Lise cared as well, or your
Yeah,
coaches.
they do actually. You're right.
I think
I
everyone
think that.
cared, but I think they just weren't knowledgeable enough. Like they weren't well researched, or Like they weren't meticulous about what they were trying to do.
Yeah.
Just more passion
It
than
also has
anything.
to do with, I feel like that, maybe the economics of it within
Possibly, yeah,
the
possibly,
places we are too. I mean, even though we
yeah,
went to these schools, like we said, like the priority was like school.
yeah, exactly,
So
yeah,
I mean, I would say like, okay, in our situations, I would say like they could have gave us that,
yeah,
because these were places where they had the resources. Like that wasn't the reason they didn't do
yeah,
it.
yeah,
But when we talk about like Ethiopia in general, I would say it's just
yeah,
it's the fact that there isn't as much resources that
yeah, yeah, for sure.
doesn't allow players to have the opportunities, these opportunities.
Yeah, yeah. I'm in complete agreement with you. That's same page, but hopefully, all of that will change in the future. Hopefully, we'll have more access to funds, more access to information, and more access to labor. People who are interested in the sport.
Basically, Afro Rooted is just that word just popped up to me when we were having these conversations and like talking about the podcast. That's the first thing that popped up, and that's the first thing that stuck with me. To be honest, that's how it came up. But yeah, basically for me, Afro rooted means somebody that's African, whether it on the soil or in the diaspora. And yeah, rooted is just that's what connects us is the roots of Africa. Like to be Afro rooted is basically being African. That's how I see it.
Absolutely, and I think there are a lot of players that are a bit on the fence, just like that. So a lot of them have Afro roots.
Yeah,
They're diaspora, and they have to make a decision at some point whether they want to play for their the African country, or I don't know, the European American,
yeah.
whatever it is.
And a
And
lot goes into that too. Like I feel like it's a tough
yeah,
position to be in because, like, on the
absolutely,
one
yeah,
hand, like this is football, like that's what you're really passionate about. And on the other hand, it's like you have roots in your country, but then all sorts of politics and like all the
yeah,
nonsense that you don't want in football get involved. So we'll be
yeah.
covering some of that too.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's always an interesting one when there's a kid with a lot of talent. Like most recently, Saka had to make the decision between Nigeria and the UK or England, and
Yeah,
so many players like with France and England, Belgium, who are like just beginning to show their potential, and they have both countries like fighting for them, and it's
yeah.
always I feel like it's always the
Should be an
African country that loses
interesting
out.
one, man.
Sorry.
I said Aaron Wan-Bissaka should be an interesting one because he still hasn't played for his what you call it the England national team. So he still can
Yeah,
play for Congo. He still has that option.
yeah. I
Just to
mean,
give you
I think his position as well for England is very competitive. So
yeah,
it might be the best decision for everyone if he just played for Congo.
for Congo. Yeah, it might be a
Yeah,
blessing in disguise.
absolutely. Yeah, and
And
he
also,
wasn't
like
picked this
one
time around as
I'd say
well.
is like African countries also what it allows you to do is just to kind of leave your own legacy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 bro. Like you're the star. Like that's how, with Aubameyang for Arsenal. He decided to
Yeah,
play for what is it?
for Gabon. Yeah.
Gabon. Jeez, bro. But he could have played for France. But imagine he was playing for France now. He wouldn't. He would be like one of many stars. He wouldn't be like
Yeah.
the captain how he is for
I feel like that, to be honest with you, like players like Aubameyang actually really respect as well because
yeah, the talent.
I think
Yeah,
he could have been a star on
yeah,
France's team as well.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
obviously he might not be like Zidane, but he could have been like like next to Benzema, and then like he could be a star in that team, and then he still chose to play for his native country. So I feel like
yeah, yeah,
those
yeah. I
players you have
think
to kind of
yeah,
like
yeah. I
they
just
took a
want
risk, and
yeah, and I think
they're
yeah,
showing other people as well that it can be done. You
yeah.
don't have to just go play for. Uh, I mean, the country. I mean, that's another debate for another time because a lot of people feel
Yeah.
different ways about it. I would say, but yeah,
Yeah, let us know, guys. If you have any thoughts on this, let us know in the comments what you think. If
yeah,
our
man, like
perspective is wrong, I think me and you are pretty aligned, or you and I are pretty aligned. But If anyone else has
Yeah,
a different opinion on this, let us know.
definitely, man. We like to hear them. You know, we want to analyze everything. And,
Yeah,
yeah, man.
absolutely. Um, yeah.
Anything you want to touch upon?
Nah, bro, I think you did a great job. Yeah, just emphasizing that we're focusing on we may have some focus on European leagues, like top five leagues, for example, but we're also going to
Yeah,
be focusing on the leagues in Africa, the African Champions League as well. Trying to focus as well on different academies here, see different players' journey to, like, if they do go to Europe, like
yeah,
players like Sadio Mane, how did they reach where they reached? Are there any channels that are like typical for different players from different countries to reach the biggest clubs in the world? So
yeah.
our focus is a bit of both. So we're going to be focusing on both non-African leagues and African leagues as well, and African teams. So
Yeah.
stay
It'll
tuned
be
for all of that.
based
Yeah,
on African players for the most part. Yeah.
yeah. Try to focus
Yeah.
on
And
the
development.
yeah
And we also have the African Cup of Nations coming up. Should be exciting. And
yeah
the World Cup qualifiers with the World Cup. So yeah, we're gonna have some pretty interesting stuff.
yeah. There's a lot coming through. Hopefully, Ethiopia is going to win both of those.
At
Well,
least if we qualify for the first time in the World Cup,
yeah, if we could
it's in the cheap.
qualify, yeah, that would be dope. But anyways, we have the
Yeah,
kits for it now. We have the new jerseys, new kits.
New Jersey's
Next
coming up.
step is qualification. Check that box, and then we'll see where we can go
Yeah,
from there. That'd be dope.
we'll see from there. It'll be dope to see one of our players in the top five. You know.
Yeah, absolutely, bro. That would be dope. Yeah, that would. Hopefully soon, bro. I think the Ethiopian football revolution is coming soon. I think
It is, man.
we've been on an upward trajectory, so I think
Definitely. It
I'm
is.
expecting big things. Yeah,
Can only go up from here,
I
man.
think so, man. I think so.
Sure.
Um,
And
I think I
that's,
think yeah,
I think we covered it all pretty much,
yeah,
man.
I think so, bro. I
Some
think
of the discussions that we have here is what's going to be like. I'm excited to see what this is going to turn into for us, for you guys. Like, let us know as well. Like, if you want us to cover any specific like topic within the African football that you want, like any players that you want us to cover, like for example, just let's say you want to know more about I don't know Eduardo Camavinga or something, like, you know, that's a young player, new player. Like, we could do our research on him and, like, you know, tell you guys about him. Any comments that you guys have as well, let us know. If you guys like the idea as well, just, you know, stay with us. This is our first time doing a podcast, so yeah, be a little easy with us, I guess.